one of the area's most popular artists and children's book illustrators. Meet Kim Clayton, coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Villa Romana Italian Restaurant in Myrtle Beach. We're focused on Kim Clayton, a local folk artist and the illustrator behind the Red Bow book of Donna Tyson. And we're visiting with Kim. Good morning, Kim.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you.
It is so exciting. You know, Donna was with us last Thursday, pumping up the upcoming book signing, which happened just, I guess, a couple days ago over at the Red Bow Gifts, Coffee, and Tea there, and right across from the pavilion. And, of course, this was such a huge weekend for you.
Oh, yes, it was wonderful. It went great, and our new store is opened.
That's right, a new store in Pawleys Island.
Yeah,
this is
great.
Blackwater Art Gallery #2.
That's right.
Golly, that's a big deal moving into a second location, Kim.
Yes, I was wondering what we were doing at first, but it has definitely been just a total blessing. So we're really excited about it.
What prompted you to think about opening a second location? How long has the first one been real quick, before we get into 303 Main Street in Conway and the Blackwater Art Gallery, let's talk a little about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
No, but I have vacationed here since I was 4, so I kind of felt like it was home anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. So the vacations to the Myrtle Beach area are really what made this the place that you wanted to make home.
Well, yeah, it did. My husband, I guess, has main part of that, though. He was here. I've known Dave since I was 4, and so it was kind of one of those things that I came here on vacation. I found out he was going to school here, so I gave him a call. My grandmother actually coaxed me to tell me that he was living here.
Oh, wow.
She knew his number, so it was perfect.
Listen to that. Grandmother's reaching in.
So I went back home, and he called and said he was minutes away and he wasn't going to say no, that I had to come back and get married to him.
Wow, Kim. Yeah, what's that like when someone's really that insistent, and particularly when your grandmother had a say in that? I mean, normally those things totally backfire.
I know. Well, he was like my best friend growing up, and so it just made sense. And so we got married in Cherry Grove, right there at the end of Cherry Grove.
Right. I think I saw that was in November '97.
Actually, October.
Oh, forgive me.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry. I read a little bit
close.
this morning. I thought I was close on
close.
that. Of course, there were some exciting opportunities pulling you out of Tennessee. And, of course, reading a little bit about you this morning, the excitement of your life and what you've been in, really in the recent past. It's really 7 or 8 years that you've been as dedicated as you are.
I have just been totally blessed. It started off just grabbing pieces of wood out of trash cans just because I couldn't afford getting canvas pieces. And wait, the trash cans they're all the construction site dumpsters.
Yeah.
They were clean dumpsters. It
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
like it was really nasty. But yeah, and now it's full time doing that, and people are so wonderful about bringing things to me. So it's now a recycle drop in a way too.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really doing 2 great things. I
So
think.
people will bring you things that they think would be good basics for your artwork.
Oh, it's so much fun too, because living in Conway,
Right.
our gallery being in Conway, it's been such a blessing because a lot of things are happening there right now, and all the restoration, and so they're bringing me these cabinets and doors and windows from these old buildings, and they're beautiful, and so to paint on them is it's just amazing. It's like going through time.
You're right, and it's that way on the weekends or the weekdays. I was there last Sunday for Benjamin's 40th birthday, or I guess 10 days or so ago, and then the excitement of being there last Wednesday and just driving through town. Conway is happening right now.
Oh, it's so much fun, and it's beautiful. I think everyone is just loving that old feel of the old town and the history of it, and they want to go back to their roots, especially I think with people that are growing up, they've grown up in Conway, or they have missed their own hometowns, and they want that old feel, but still being seconds from the beach. And so, yeah, it's just booming. It's been a lot of fun.
What a great location to open your first.
Yeah.
First of now two, and probably first of many, many to come.
Oh, yeah, I've been going, it seems like lately I've been to Polly's like twice a week, and it just kind of got to where we were sitting there going, why don't we have a place in Polly's? And so when we saw the place that was for rent, it was beautiful. It was this little home that's been since 1910.
Really?
And I just fell in love with the old look to it, and it was perfect to showcase the art. And we're specializing a little bit there with more of my clothing line that's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And a fabric line where you can actually match the artwork with like pillows and blankets and curtains, all kinds of neat stuff. So it's going to be neat.
Wow. Kim, now share with viewers a little about it. You and I talked about this earlier. Is this Soulwear?
Yes, Soulwear.
Yeah,
oh,
what a great
excited.
name.
Well, I kept looking around over, well, first of all, my daughter, she's turning 11 tomorrow. So,
tomorrow, the 22nd?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so when I go shopping with her, I'm constantly, I feel like I'm pulling at what she's needing to wear.
Right.
And I'm looking around, and I think that kids would want to look cool, and I understand that. They totally want something that's nice, but at the same time, I want it to be covered. A little bit longer, a little,
right.
Cover the belly, but at the same time, it needs to look cool.
Yeah.
So I saw my artwork actually expanded to where you'd see the actual brushstrokes. And then I thought about, well, okay, we could do this. We could do this on purses and clothing and all kinds of neat stuff. So the Soulwear part is that you're proud of, I'm proud of my faith. And so I'm going to have scripture and verses on it. And in the purses, there's going to be a journal and a devotional in each one for girls and women.
A journal and a devotional. And so this is primarily garnered to or gauged towards women.
Right.
Right.
Right. Women and young girls. And then there will be a maternity line, too. So.
Wow. This sounds like all women.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
What about the guys? Your poor husband here.
Well,
Can he have anything to do with this?
Well, yeah, actually, he's really been helping a lot. But him just driving the Jeep alone, I think he's okay with not having to worry about the clothing line, because my Jeep has all the flowers and stuff, and he's very secure with himself to be able to drive it. But I don't know if he'd want to wear a shirt of mine.
Oh my God! Well, now this is a great example. This shirt you're wearing right now. I don't know if viewers can catch the whole thing. Is this an example of Soulwear? Not quite yet. Obviously, we don't have any scripture on there, but it covers the belly. And,
at the same time, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, very hip.
Oh, thank you.
That is. That's good looking. Now, that's something a guy could kind of, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I gotta talk to a couple guys and get the input on it.
Right. That's right. Well, if your husband driving that Jeep, I'm sure some guys can step out. Let's talk real quick. For a viewer may have to run to school. I know we're getting close to Christmas and school's wrapping up, or they need to get to work right now. What's the best number for someone to learn, or is there a website they could visit to learn a little about your folk art, as well as some of the many books? I think you've just finished illustrating your 5th book.
Yes. And it's been wonderful. The best numbers to reach me is 488 2505.
Okay.
And then my website is folkartweb.net.
folkartweb.net, a nice, short, tight web address.
Right.
Good for you. And 843-488-2505.
Right.
So that number is applicable to both the new Pawleys Island the village location there at Pawleys Island,
right,
or the 303 Main Street address there in Conway. That's great to have a similar phone or the same phone number that gives access to both locations.
Right.
That's wonderful. Of course, the illustration of the book, it was so exciting getting Donna in last week. She's so juiced about the Red Bow book, and I think she shared with the viewers that aspect that she'd originally contacted you to create a story, pictures for her storyline there.
Right.
Share with the viewers a little about just those initial, we'd hoped to get you in last week with Donna, couldn't because of the crazy schedule getting ready for the opening of the store this past Saturday.
Right.
But share with the viewers what it was like creating that for Donna and then deciding that y'all could illustrate this and put it in a book.
Well, it was so much fun because I've been, I just love Donna. She is precious, and she has such a contagious personality. Everyone wants to smile when they're around Donna.
Oh, wow.
And so when she came to me about it, I kept thinking about the storyline, and my Gigi, my grandmother is Gigi. She is my best friend. And so it just came close to my heart, and I thought about the book, and I thought about my daughter, the perfect age, is pretty much the same age this little girl is in the book. So it was very easy to illustrate because it was already close to my heart, as well as Donna's, because it's something that she's just put her whole heart and soul into.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just been a blessing to be able to do it. It took no time to paint it.
Yeah, I was about to ask how long that took. Now, you did 13 separate paintings,
right?
Which I've seen there at the store. And for viewers who haven't visited the Red Bow Gives Coffee and Tea, it's located right across from the Pavilion in front of Nance Plaza. And actually, this past Saturday, I think Coastal Federal Bank did a big time capsule. That must have been exciting with all the kids from all over in town, from area schools that were in town, dropping that 50-year time capsule.
It is amazing.
I kept asking Donna, and maybe you can't answer because you had to leave early, I know, but did they get a copy of the Red Bow to drop in the time capsule?
I think they did.
Yeah.
I think they did, yes.
I'm sure it'd be difficult to assign.
I couldn't see not getting one
That's
in there.
right, I know. I
At
told
least
Donna
one red bow.
she was going to work it out with Ruthie. That's right, surely a red bow in there.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, there's just, so the 13 pictures, and then she was seeing those in the store and thinking, we can do more with this.
Right. Well, the pictures didn't take any time. I paint, I'm kind of, I get in one mood. The most I've ever done, I think, in one day, we counted up, was like 125 paintings.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh, you're a bull.
No, I'm not kidding.
125 paintings in one day?
In one day. Well, it's a big day, 11-hour day, and that was... It was at one time 56. We got tickled by it. If I am by myself for a full day, I could just zone out and just have fun.
Man.
It's pretty cool. I enjoy doing that. I really do, because I look back at the clock and it's dark. It's like, what happened with my day?
Right.
But, so it took no time. It really didn't. It's just when you get the idea together, I think is the hardest part, to make sure that we're on the same page and that is what she's looking at. That's the part that... I think is the longest process, is making sure that your customer's happy. Wow,
Kim, you know, it's so fascinating when you think about folks who get into they've got either a career or this is their focus. You know, yesterday we were with someone who's doing a column, and hearing her write about her column. Tomorrow we've got a soon-to-be-released author, and, you know, it's fascinating when you think about aspects, when you get in that groove, either start writing or start painting, and just... it just rolls. It flows. To hear you talk about painting 100+ paintings in a day.
Yeah, it didn't seem right sometimes, but it's really neat because you lose yourself in it. I always pray before I paint, and I'm just like, okay, just take over, God, and it just happens.
Yeah. Speaking of praying before painting, we're sitting in front of a nativity scene, and when you look at a nativity scene, have you ever painted a nativity scene? You have, yeah.
Matter of fact, I did not long ago. I did on a door. It's actually in the window of my gallery.
Is that right?
You need to come see it, because the manger's made out of pieces from a very gigantic pine cone that I formed into the manger.
Really?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
That's exciting. That's 303 Main Street in Conway. For viewers in the PD, some of our viewers in southeastern North Carolina who may not have been to Conway recently, this is a good opportunity to get down there and check out but what are your hours there at the gallery?
Well, we're working right now. Our Christmas hours is from 9 to 7.
9 to 7, okay. And, of course, you'll be closed this Saturday for Christmas. You'll be closed. Are you closing on Friday? You going out of town this weekend?
Well, I am going to be closing on Saturday, maybe a little bit early on Friday. We're leaving out of town after Christmas.
Oh, wow. Yeah, good. Yeah. And you said we. We haven't gotten into we've heard you mention your husband, and your daughter's birthday is tomorrow.
Yeah.
You've got other family here in the area, Kim.
I got 2 little boys.
Oh, come on.
Yes. I got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old little boy.
Wow.
They're like little monkeys. They're wild little monkeys.
3, 5, and 11 tomorrow. That's
right.
That's a big deal. What's that like? Now, Kyle, when we think about 11-hour painting days, I mean, are your kids come around often? Are they involved in this?
Well, they can paint with me. That's the fun part. Well, my daughter is... she loves to come and paint backgrounds for me, which is really neat. And so she'll do the sides, and so that's fun. She just paints all different colors, and the boys can do it too. They actually are pretty good about doing that.
Really?
Yeah, it becomes a little messy, but that's okay. We can clean it up. But yeah, that is been an awesome thing that they can be involved in. But we try when we get home not to do any of it. We don't do any painting at home. When we get home, that's our time, and we just love each other.
Well, now, obviously, this is a non-commercial show. You're a commercial artist, and I know you do a lot, obviously, with churches and other charities, make huge commitments. Otherwise, you know, I was thinking about my allowance on Saturdays, getting allowance as a kid. If your daughter's involved in these paintings, she must be getting a bigger than usual allowance. balance there.
She does get a cut when she does paint the backgrounds. She gets a cut of it. Yes, she does. And once in a while, it's so funny because in the summertime, only in the summertime this happens, we'll put like a bunch of wood in the backyard and we'll squirt out all the different paint colors. And I'll let the kids run with their feet. It's the funniest thing to see them run with their feet through the paint because it really makes some really pretty colors. Once in a while, you'll see a little toe print or a hand print where they put their hands through it.
Wow,
it's pretty sweet.
This is a big family affair.
It
the
is
Clayton
fun.
clan. Now, has your husband ever been busted on a construction site for getting pulling stuff out of the cans there?
I think the funniest thing that's ever happened to him is we had, oh my goodness, he had lost a piece of a washing machine top that I had painted. He was going to do an art show for me in Atlanta.
Right.
And the washing machine top fell off the top of the car. He had tried to bolt it up pretty well, and it flew off into this countryside, and my husband went to go retrieve it. It had an angel on the front of it. And when he went to retrieve it, there was a big Rottweiler dog that started running after him. And so if you picture what you see on the side of the road is this big man with this angel washing machine top with this Rottweiler, and he's shielding himself. It was the funniest thing because he lost his sock, but he kept his shoe. But it was really funny because he's had all kinds of things like that happen. But
wow,
yeah, he's funny.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Share with the viewers what it's like if you can kind of guide someone through that for you when you first got interested in art performing. I know you've talked a lot about your grandfather. You write a lot about him. You just talked about Gigi.
Yeah.
Is that his?
That's his wife.
That's his wife. Yes. Yeah. And this is Stape Long.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He's pretty amazing. He designed the recliner, the first recliner, which is called the Wallback.
Your grandfather designed the first recliner?
For Berkline Furniture.
Wow.
And so he's pretty amazing. He's just, he has that design mentality. Matter of fact, it's so cool because we are completely opposite in this part of it. He even has a ruler to measure the wrapping paper. I remember just going, "What am I doing here? It's a ruler."
Right.
But he's that critical on line, and that is really neat. But as a kid, I used to bug him in his design room, and I'd just say, "Can you draw a lion? Can you draw, a bear?" And he'd just draw it and he'd throw it down on the ground to me, and I'd sit there right at his desk and I would copy the designs. So that was really cool. And then coming here to the beach, we used to go and go on the beach and he would sketch. And so I'd go with him, and as a 16-year-old kid, at the time I didn't feel as cool being 16 with my granddad in a bathing suit sitting on the beach trying to sketch. Right. But I appreciate every day of that now.
Oh, wow. So, that is, Kim, it was fascinating reading a little bit. At one point, y'all were living either close to each other or in the same town, and then y'all moved away, but you would see him regularly on the weekends. So this was something, an inspiration at a very early age that you were magnetically drawn. I mean, you were going to keep it going no matter what. To
be honest, I've never known anything else I wanted to do. I mean, it's like I always did other things just because I had to, but I never thought of anything else I was supposed to be doing.
Reading a little bit about your parents' encouragement for you to get into advertising or design, something that would potentially provide a better income stream.
Yeah, my dad, he's a banker, and so his idea, which I totally understand, it does seem a little far-fetched. I want to be an artist. I want to paint for a living. And he's like, okay, honey. And so he's like, well, this is probably the smart way is to go this way. And so I totally understand. I mean, but I remember sitting in class going, what am I doing here? I don't know if I can do this. So I'm kind of glad, in a weird way, I'm learning some of the things that I was taught there I'm using now, though. So I'm glad, there's a reason for it.
Right. So help you stay focused on some financial underpinnings. You've got to have some money coming in. You've got to pay bills. Those are some basic
business smarts.
Business smarts, absolutely. Do you still talk to him about some things now? I mean, is he step back and said, honey, I think maybe you made the right decision? Or is he still saying maybe you'll grow up soon? I mean,
well, it's really weird. It's because before he kind of kept the stuff in a closet. Now he kind of puts it out. I think he's a little bit more proud of it.
Wow,
now.
Good for him.
It's kind of funny. I think he's like trying to push that behind me, going, "No, we're gonna do something else." But now he's pretty proud. I think. Yeah.
That's great, Kim. Is your grandfather still living?
Yes, he is.
He is. Good.
Yes.
So I'm sure he's juiced about or very proud of your work.
We have a. Matter of fact, this is kind of a neat story. The Curious Mermaid in Little River. He would have his sketches at, and I met the owners, I want to say about 4 years ago, and they were coming to the House of Blues, and I was in an art show there.
Right.
And they actually knew my grandfather and remembered me coming in with him, and so they actually have artwork of mine too. So
really.
So it's kind of cool. We both have had artwork in the same place.
Wow, that must be huge.
Yeah.
And exciting for him to know that he was that inspiration for you. We haven't yet talked about Howard Finster, someone who was a real underpinning early on, both in your Christian beliefs as well as your artwork. I think you then talked later, reading a little about you, a gentleman there at the House of Blues. I can't remember his name, who really stepped up to the plate to buy some of your early works back in 2000 to help get you rolling.
Yes. Mr. Filipowski is the guy that did that second art show. It was amazing because we, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, my husband just went ahead and did it for me over at the convention center here. And it was more of a craft show, so I really didn't, I was kind of a little discouraged because I was really not in the right element of where I was supposed to be. And this man, he's just huge, came in and was like, you know, looked at it, he goes, how much for this, 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 and this? And I was like, for sure, he really doesn't mean this. And I told him, and he was like, okay. And ends up that he is one of the big guys at the House of Blues, and I think he's the one in Chicago. And so he has been buying artwork ever since, which has been amazing. And he's just really opened doors for me.
Wow.
I can't thank him enough. And then Howard, I heard about him when I was 16 years old, and I was told that there's this great guy that lives not far from me, and he has this wonderful place called Paradise Gardens. And he used to be a reverend, and he had artwork that covered the whole entire place. He did the Talking Heads album cover and REM album cover. That's all I know.
Wow, yeah.
And to see how awesome, and his artwork isn't incredible, but the words that's on him is. It has scripture written throughout the whole entire thing, and he never stopped with his beliefs. No matter what he did, no matter how much fame he got, he put his beliefs all through his art. And I promised myself I would never change, no matter what happened. And remember that, you know, I'm not here for any other reason. And God gave me these hands, he gave me this gift, and I'm going to use it for that reason.
Those are great words, Kim. Golly, and I want to talk to you about your relationship with God and obviously how you all communicate. Someone's reminded me we got 3 minutes and books and suitcase. There's the 20-some minutes have flown by. We've got, of course, the Red Bow book.
Yes.
They're very exciting. There's some other pieces that you've been doing with Michael Hetzer illustrating his pieces.
Yes.
Can you share with the viewers real quick about that? This is stuff could they find this at folkartweb.net?
Yes, they can.
They can learn a little bit about them, as well as learn, again, your locations, the village there at Pawleys Island, as well as the Blackwater Art Gallery.
Definitely. Webster Henrietta Publishing Company is his publishing company, and you can get the books either from me or from him.
Okay,
so,
great.
Our Percy will be here next week.
What will be here next week?
Percy Porcupine will be here next
great.
week.
Percy Porcupine, one of the 4 books we're looking at. Share with the viewers real quick. I know we've got a collage of these 4 here. What are the 4 books we're looking at?
Well, we're looking at No More Handprints was the first one.
Right.
There we have Footprints on the Ceiling. We also have The Hug for Percy Porcupine.
Yeah.
And The Red Bow. All of them are interactive books, which is so wonderful. And I think that you're going to just love every one of them.
And A Hug for Percy Porcupine's coming in next week.
Yes.
The Red Bow arrived last week. Footprints on the Ceiling and No More Handprints have been around for a little while.
Yes, they have. And it's been about a year now. So we're just excited.
And those are selling pretty well. I mean, you know,
very well.
Great Christmas gifts.
Oh, yeah, they're perfect for Christmas because they're great for children. And you can put your handprints and the footprints of the children as a keepsake on your coffee table. It's great for grandparents and parents. And
great.
So, yeah, it's a great Christmas.
So if you could come in even today or tomorrow, later on this week, you said you're open until you'll be closed on Saturday.
Right, and we can pre-order anything if it hasn't gotten here yet.
Great. Wow, Kim. The suitcase, real quick. We've just got a couple of minutes.
Yes.
What are we talking about with the suitcase?
Fostering Hope and I at Blackwater Gallery have teamed up together, and we have a team of artists who paint the suitcases. We have kids all over that are painting the suitcases, and inside the suitcases, Fostering Hope is supplying all the needs of blankets, pillows, clothing, anything that a child would need. But we are looking for sweaters and coats and all the new stuff that a child would need. So we need warm clothes for them right now.
And a viewer could contact you about that, or do they need to contact Fostering Hope?
Fostering Hope would be great. I'm for the suitcases, and Fostering Hope is for all the clothing and toys, etc.
Okay, and we've got on the screen here how to contact Fostering Hope.
Right.
Okay. We got less than a minute. That aspect we've talked about, stapling. Obviously, your grandfather, Howard Finster, those words. How do you communicate with God, Kim?
Lots of prayer, and just faith that He's going to be right there. I think David in the Bible always talked about he always had constant conversation with God, and so when I have to make any kind of decision, before I speak, before I do anything, I try to speak to God first, that He speaks through me, because when I speak, sometimes it's not the best. I always screw up, but when God speaks, it's going to be the right way to do it.
And how does God speak? How does He talk to you?
All you do is you just ask God to come into your heart, through your heart and your soul, through your hands, through your eyes. If you need to see something, if you need to say something, speak through me.
Those are great words. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Kim Clayton coming up next. Let's get that number out before I forget it. 251-8168. That's 843-251-8168. Fostering Hope. Kim and the kids are putting the suitcases together, painting the suitcases, but Fostering Hope needs that opportunity to fill them up. It's cold weather right now. Whether you were out this weekend, possibly thinking about snow or not, it was a freezing weekend. They need to fill up those suitcases, sweaters, clothing, anything you got. Give them a call, 843-251-8168. Another great phone number, 488-2505, 843-488-2505. The Blackwater Art Gallery, both at the Village and Pawleys Island, as well as right there, 303 Main Street in Conway. You know, if you haven't been to the House of Blues recently and want to check out some amazing artwork, you can check it out here or in Chicago if you're up there anytime soon. If you haven't been to church recently, we give you a great reason to visit three of them. One out at Fantasy Arbor, and I can't remember its name. It's a Methodist church there, First United Methodist Church, or even more importantly, right there in Conway, Kingston Presbyterian or St. Paul's Episcopal. Go over there, check out some of Kim's work, or of course you can check her out online at folkartweb.net. Happy birthday, Leslie, tomorrow.